I'm here today to talk about a precious soul who's no longer with us, my daughter-in-law Fern.
אין כמו אמא שלנו.
Love you, Mom, so much.
An incredible, incredible Savta.
I miss her very much. I think about her.
She was the absolute best. The best.
Ima's made me a better, stronger person. Ima and I had a lot of laughs together. We had the giggles.
Mommy always appreciated and valued Fern. She felt very close to her.
Bubby always felt to her like she's her daughter, and she always treated Bubby like a mother.
Which made her my sister.
There was never a fight, there was never an argument. It was always smooth sailing. Ima fit in, Bubby was never demanding. There was great love. We enjoyed being together. They worked together well in the kitchen. They worked together as a team.
She acted like a daughter, and that's how our relationship went.
It was a beautiful relationship that made it easy for me to be close with everybody, and I was proud that Bubby and Ima got along so beautifully together.
I wish for all of the ladies in this room that you would have a mother-in-law like I have a mother-in-law. She is a special, special lady. She has been the rock of our family. She has been with us through thick and thin. There are no words. So, Mommy, thank you for all of your help, all of your love and support. And Ad Mea V'Esrim, we should see grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and all the simchas together. Thank you very much.
Fern and I went skiing, and on the trip home, one late afternoon from upstate New York, I was really tired, and I said, please, you drive, I need to take a nap. And I had said, but just stay in the right lane except the pass, because that would be like something that Leon, our father, would say to us. Well, I fell asleep, and obviously we were barreling down the New York State Thruway, and as I opened my eyes, I realized she was staying right except the pass, running through the hot shop area at 75 miles an hour, right past the gas stations. And I opened my eyes. She said, well, you said stay right except the pass.
Oh my God.
All right.
Ima and I were married 45 years. We were college sweethearts.
When Abba and Ima got engaged, they were like Romeo and Juliet. So it was no surprise that their wedding, the theme, was Romeo and Juliet. And we had to wear these crazy outfits that Ima liked. Should I say they're crazy outfits? They were crazy outfits of like Juliet outfits with embroidered fronts.
I had a little cap that I really liked. Anyway, and then they were married.
The first summer that we were married, Bubby Lorna had been head counselor at a camp called Wani in Torrington, Connecticut.
She grew up in a camp environment where they played sports.
every lane, beneath the starry sky.
Road just meant for friends to take. Up high, trees reaching.
Can you hear us, Farron?
She's singing for sure with you.
Yeah.
There was warmth there beyond imagination.
On and on and on. And yeah, she loved camp. She loved camp.
She adored camp. She loved camp so much that when Bubby Lorna stopped being the girls' head counselor,
And asked if Fern would want to take on that job. She said yes.
And shortly after that, they said, "Oh, you're going to be a grandmother." How exciting. How exciting. I would come to the house and they had a slot in the door. And I would pick up the slot, knock at the door, say, "It's Bubby, it's Bubby." And I'd come in and play.
In 1987, after a difficult year of work where we didn't see the children that much, but it was productive financially, we took everybody to Israel to enjoy that year and the profits of the year, but also my intention was to try to persuade Ima to consider maybe moving.
I remember, as if it were yesterday, when Abba and I made Aliyah with the family, and you were 1 year old in my arms, and I was nervous and I was afraid and I didn't know and how are things going to go and how will things be for my children. And Baruch Hashem, I can stand here and tell you, even with all the craziness that's going on and the matzav that we have to deal with, that we definitely made the right decision.
She loved Israel with all her heart. You never heard, as a peer, Fern Dobular Israel bash or complain. This is what's here. Let's make the best of it. Let's go. Let's do. And she just pushed.
Friday night at the Shabbos table, Ima used to doze off. She was so tired because she worked so hard. And I always felt so bad for her, that she had to work so hard. And she never complained. Unbelievable.
We would be sitting on the couch talking, and very shortly after we would start to talk, she would either be dozing off or lay down and put her feet on my lap so that I could give her a massage, because her feet were always aching from running around, from doing all these things, from being so active.
Coming to Israel, not understanding, not really hardly speaking Hebrew, and being like the best gym teacher ever, and that's the way she was.
עד לפני שעה קלה היינו רחוקים.
יש פסוק בשיר השירים, סימני כחותם על ליבך. ושמעתי פעם מישהו שאומר בשם הרב קוק שיש אנשים שהם כמו חותם, שאתה רואה אותם, יכול להיות חותם מאוד יפה, כמו חותמת, חותמת יפה, חותמת שיש בה, אבל העיקר הוא בעצם מתחת, ורק כשהולכים אתה רואה באמת כל מה שהיה.
הייתי מגיעה לכל השיעורי ספורט וממש היה לי כיף בשיעורים, כאילו יש כזה את הדברים שאתה זוכר, נגיד היינו משחקות כדורשת ואז היא הייתה עומדת באמצע איפה שהחוט והיא הייתה כזה סופרת את הנקודות כזה עם המבטא והזה, היא הייתה כזה סופרת 1, 2, היא הייתה עושה את זה כזה כיף וזה נתן לך כאילו אווירה לשחק, כאילו זה לא רק הספורט, זה גם אפשר לעשות מזה כיף וזה, וגם שכיבות צמיחה, אז בחיים אני לא הצלחתי לעשות את זה. ותמיד היא הייתה מעודדת אותי, עוד אחד, כאילו, את יכולה, תעשי עוד אחד. ולא הצלחתי, ואז היא אמרה לי, טוב, בסוף השיעור תבואי, ואני נעשה ביחד ואני גם אראה לך איך עושים. והיא פשוט עזרה לי וזהו, ואז הצלחתי, בבגרות הצלחתי.
היא הכניסה את זה שספורט זה לא רק לתעודה וזהו, כאילו, היה לה, המדדים שלה לא היו מדדים מאוד לפי ציונים, לפי זה, אלא באמת שספורט זה חשוב לנו לחיים.
אני פשוט זוכרת שהיה כיף בשיעורים, כאילו אתה בא לשיעור ספורט וכיף לך, ואירובי, והיא רוקדת איתנו ביחד, ורצים, אז היא רצה איתנו, כאילו, הייתה איתנו בספורט הזה, זה לא היה כאילו מורה כזה שכאילו אומר, רוקדת איתנו, וכאילו נורא חיה את זה.
There are great teachers around. I'm sure there are a million great teachers around. Ima was an unbelievably inspirational, legendary teacher.
We're in the teacher's room in Openat Raya, and this is where I usually met Sippy and where we had our best conversations. You know, I wanted to sit here because even to this day, I'm just like waiting for Sippy to come in to say, hi, how are things? And to start talking. I don't have that anymore and I really miss it.
היא קראה לכל אחת מיס. כאילו היא לא הייתה אומרת, כאילו נגיד, פנינה, אז היא הייתה אומרת מיס ריבלין, וזה נתן לכל אחת כאילו היא מיוחדת, כאילו היא גברת.
הייתה פה דמות גדולה מאוד, שהרבה תורה אנחנו צריכים ללמוד ממנה. היא לימדה אותי את הדבר הכי חשוב שאתה אף פעם לא יודע מי יש ממך.
A fabulous sister to us both. And I have to say that after Daddy died, the three of us really coalesced together. And it wasn't that we got closer because we were close to begin with.
But we did speak more often.
But we spoke more often, we emailed more often, and shared thoughts and days and occasions together. And Fern, of course, came in to the U.S. as his dad got older, and trying to figure out working with us to figure out what would be best for him as things deteriorated, and certainly deteriorated with Alice.
Right.
And it was something which the three of us commiserated together and tried to figure out the best solution for him.
I loved your mother very, very much, and we were very close, and we worked out together. That was not really the start of our relationship, but the continuation of our relationship, because she was also friends with my mom, and your parents are friends with my parents. But we became very close when I started working out with her.
3 times a week for at least a year, and then I continued after that, also around 3 times a week.
It was more than working out together. We were friends and we were close, and I loved her, and I felt like another mother and a good friend, and we spoke about everything.
And by the time I lost all the weight, you know, she felt like she was training some kind of marathon runner. So she would time me as I ran up 1,000,000 steps or who knows what, and she really put me through the paces, but Baruch Hashem, it was great for me. I think it was great for her.
Y'all first got here, and Fern started her exercise class. I went, it must have been winter time, and it was just me in the miklat in Ashtar. And she said, okay, well, we'll just start the class. Nobody else came, and I had my own private class, and I that's in my memory. I never could get over that.
Beit El weddings, people from Beit El, and Fern would always be up there, you know, on the women's dance floor doing her aerobics dancing. It wasn't just like everyone danced around, everyone danced with her, followed her steps. It was like a kavua thing at these weddings that she would get up there at some point and just do her stuff, and we'd all get up there and do it with her, but she was like leading the whole thing, you know.
Almost no one could keep up with your mother, but everyone tried their best to their ability to keep up with your mother, and that was so funny and fun and special, and added a lot to every simcha that I saw her do that.
I used to call Ima as soon as I woke up. I used to call Ima when I was preparing breakfast. I used to call Ima when I was cooking. I used to call Ima when I was folding laundry. And I never tired of hearing her voice, and I never tired of hearing about what was going on her side. I don't have those phone calls anymore and the Skype. And when I took Liba Gitzel for the first time to camp this summer at age almost 3, and she had her camp knapsack on, And it was such a cute picture, and I took a picture of her, and I wanted to send it to Ima and show her, look at me, it's all in a knapsack. My little baby's in a knapsack. And it hurts tremendously. The void is huge. It's a crater, and nobody can fill it.
We were very fortunate to be able to have celebrated just a couple of weeks before our 45th anniversary. The children recorded Ima giving a little bit of a talk of 45 years of us being together, and me giving a talk of 45 years of being together.
So first of all, with all the kidding around, I would just like to say in public for everybody that Abba and I are very, very lucky and blessed. First of all, we're lucky and blessed that we had 5 wonderful children. But then, on top of our wonderful children, they each picked wonderful spouses. So the family grew and grew and grew. And we're just very, very blessed. We're very blessed. I have to say it was Abba's dream to come live in Eretz Yisrael. But, you know, he might have dragged me here a little bit kicking and screaming, but I think it was the most wonderful decision that we ever made. And we have a wonderful family here, and we have a wonderful life here. And
look up.
Yeah. So that's it. So thank you all my kids and my daughters-in-law and my husband.
We meet with Dr. Spiegelman, and he pretended, when we met with him, that he didn't have the results back yet, or that he had the results, but it wasn't exactly what he had asked for. They made a mistake. They didn't give it to him in the right way, and so he wants us to call him in a few days. And we thought that that was a pretty big mistake given what's going on. So, okay, but he said we should talk to him early next week. In the meanwhile, we left the room, and Abba stayed in the room, and Abba came out 2 minutes later. And when Abba came out, Ima and I turned to him and said, Abba, what were you doing there? So Abba said, you know, I was really telling him how unhappy I am that he messed this up, and that we came to hear results, and now we have to wait a couple more days, and that we're anxious, and that really it's a big mess up. Okay, fine, we said, you know, maybe you shouldn't get the doctor angry, but okay, he's the doctor taking care of Ima. And then Ima, I think, went to the bathroom, and Abba told me when she went to the bathroom, that's not why he stayed. He stayed in the room to get the truth from the doctor. And the doctor said he didn't want to say it in front of Ima, so he told it to Abba.
I can't thank Ima enough. She's followed me in many ways, many different paths that I'm sure was totally unexpected of her, and probably maybe unexpected of me. But we're very blessed.
The truth was that the procedure failed, and for every lesion that it did succeed to destroy, many more came instead. And that was very bad news.
You know what, I should wish all of you that you have long-lasting marriages like we have, with your wonderful spouses, your wonderful children, and only good health, simcha, and that's it.
Happy anniversary. We love you.
We love you.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Love you.
Happy anniversary.
Yay.
Happy
anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
It was really the last time that we were together as a family.
We went over to Fern, to Tzipi, and she opened the door, and we were there for like 45 minutes. And then she started talking about how she was doing this whole process about Hakarat HaTov and about, you know, that everything Hashem does is for the best, and to be connected to the midah of gratitude all the time. And she spoke, and we cried. And then I said to her, you know, I said, I'm actually giving a shiur on Shabbos, and she used to come to the shiurim that I gave, you know, through the framework of the English shiur. And I said to her, I think other people need to hear this, what you're saying now. Would you come and talk at the shiur on Shabbat?
I remember her saying, I don't know what will be if I'm going to make it through this or not, but, and then she would say things, and I thought, what is she talking about? She's going to make it through this. Of course she's going to make it through this. This isn't a question. It's like it never entered my mind that she wasn't going to until she said that.
And a lot of women came, and she spoke so beautifully. I mean, everybody had tears in their eyes, and I felt like everybody moved. Everybody moved from where they were at that point to a different place, about how they feel about their own lives, how they feel about feeling grateful for every little thing. And I felt myself that I went through a change.
She inspired all of us, and to look at the whole situation differently.
And there was a time where like I just couldn't get a normal conversation on the phone. So that's it, I'm coming over. She was telling me about the Garden of Faith that she read and how positive she is, and like, everything will be okay. And when I left there, I felt so uplifted. And as I was driving, I said, wait, like, this is not good. You know, like something, like, I don't know what's gonna be. And I just remember I started crying in the car, just pulled over, and I said, like, I don't know what's gonna be. And it like hit me suddenly, because when I was there, I just was, you know, inspired by her, and we were sitting and laughing and chatting.
I was working and Ima was getting treated, and one day I get a call that Ima had, she was in bad shape and I had to come home. That morning she'd fallen going to the bathroom, broke the tank, the water tank, and so I knew that there had been a deterioration. She was weaker. In the weeks before, you could see that she would come home and she would sleep more in the car. She would sleep on the couch. She would go up to bed earlier. She didn't have that vigor and strength that she had before. Took her to the hospital, and they told me that she had a few days to live. And I said, what are you talking about? This is my wife. I mean, we're treating her. We're gonna beat this thing. I mean, a few days to live.
But Ima was a fighter, and the doctors, I remember the doctors coming every couple of days, and they were still amazed that Ima was still around. And they said, you know what, this woman is a fighter, and what else can we do for her? And they decided that they're going to do radiotherapy again, something that they didn't agree to do in the beginning because they thought it was a lost cause. But Ima was fighting so strong against it that they said, she's a fighter, maybe she can handle it. And she went through, I believe, 10 days of every single morning radiotherapy. And then after she finished the radiotherapy, the doctor said, look, there's no more we can do for her. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work, but maybe there's no point in her staying in the hospital.
And then she came home, and she was in bed. I saw her laying in bed. It wasn't Fern. It wasn't Fern.
And the goal was that if we keep on getting her stronger, we can lower the dosage of steroids. And if we lower the dosage enough, then we'll get to a point where she can take the immunotherapy again, which is, again, the only possible way to solve the cancer. And we said, look, Dr. Lotem, she's home for already 10 days. It seems she's getting slightly stronger. But we can't get it below 8 milligrams of steroids. can you do the immunotherapy on 8 milligrams of steroids? And Dr. Lotan said, you guys did everything you can, but it's too late. It's too late, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work on 8 milligrams, and she's too far, and at this point you have to let her go. And at that point, and I remember the conversation vividly, and I always remember it, it was the only time, it was the first time that we actually lost hope. That entire time in the hospital, almost 3 weeks from when she went into the hospital and then till she came home, we were fighting this. Today we just said our last Kaddish. It's been 11 months since Ima passed.
Ima was my best friend. I wish so much, beyond belief, that she were able to be there when I get married, Be'ezrat Hashem, to be under the chuppah, to help guide, to help be there, to do all the wonderful things that she was able to do and to make it seem easy. Plan the wedding, and I don't know how to do all those things.
צופיה הליכות ביתה ולחם עצלות לא תאכל קמו בניה וישוע בעלה ויהלל רבות בנות עשו חיל ועתה לידה על כולנה קמו בניה וישוע בעלה ויהלל רבות בנות עשו חיל ועתה לידה על כולנה.
In Ima's zchut, I enjoy davening. I like davening. I never davened in minyan so much in my life. And I only missed one time. One time. Whole entire year, 3 times a day. And I have great stories about that. You know, you miss a minyan in Efrat, the last minyan's at 9:30. I've driven to Kever Rachel at 11 o'clock at night, to Beitar. I found a great shtiblach in Beitar.
Whenever I go somewhere, it could be going home, going to work, going to the kindergarten, going to the school to get the kids. The default number for me to call is, okay, I'll call Ima, let's see what's up. And she would tell me everything, and I would know what's going on with Bati, what's going on with Zev, with Ilan, with Aryeh, with Andrea, with Bubby, you know. And it's so unique because this is what happened with everyone. Everyone would tell you the same thing. And I think she opened like this connection between everyone, and we were all connected. And only now do you realize how much it's missed, how much that little thing of conversation, of talking, what a big deal it is when it's gone. We miss that terribly.
If I could say something to her now, I would say, first of all, thank you for 45 years of being the best wife, of giving more than 150% all the time, of not being demanding, of being wonderful at everything that you do. I would tell her that she should be proud that her children said Kaddish for her every day in an honorable fashion. And they're all growing up trying to make a wonderful life, to raise their children. We pray that the children all grow up in the Torah way.
And now, let's see how the children can pick up and learn from the way she treated life, the way she lived her life. She was a wonderful soul.
Everybody is so sad and affected that Ima's not here anymore, because she had a part in everybody's heart, because she invested, she deposited that part in everybody's heart. And we, Bezrat Hashem, will always keep it. We'll always treasure it.
Yom